thanks for joining me. I hope you're well. Well, we're back from Cornwall. Where did that week go? Absolutely fantastic. Hey, I tell you what, this is your life flashing by, isn't it, in a nutshell? Hey, we all remember when we were 16 on our mopeds, and now we're in the 60s, aren't we, eh? Where did that time go to? I don't know. And don't you think it goes quicker as you're getting older? It's shocking, isn't it? It's terrible. We've got to get out on these putt-putts, you know. We've got to get out and do stuff, because the clock's ticking. So there you are, there's your tip from Keith for today. Now then, in today's episode, here we go. I thought, first I wanted to mention something, a couple of things about my bike, a couple of bike related things, and I also wanted to mention a bit about me Cornwall trip. Now, you know, if you're bored, if you're not interested in that, that's fine. But I thought it was quite interesting because we all like bikes and cars, and you know, we all like machinery, don't we? That's why we're here. And in fact, let's get on with it straight away. Now then, I'll just get it done. Next couple of minutes. So, we went to Cornwall on holiday. I bet you're sick of hearing about that, aren't you? But there you go. Right, now, I've got an electric car, and this was the first trip, the first long trip I've ever done in my electric car, and quite naturally I was a bit concerned about charging and sort of range anxiety, they call it, don't they? And whether I was going to run out of juice, run out of electrons, and I just thought I'd share it here. So in a nutshell, this is it. I did know that where we were going to, this place down there near Red Roof, it's actually had free electric car charging, because they said they were a very environmental friendly place, all into the recycling and this, that and the other, you know, and solar panels, and they said, well, if you come in an electric car you can charge for free to encourage you to use them. So I thought, well, that's alright. So what I did was I charged my car before I left home, obviously, on an overnight tariff where I get it for 7.5 pence a kilowatt, and I charged it up. So that probably cost me about £4 for a full charge. Now, I was also worried about getting on the motorway, you know, how far I was going to go at speed. So I have to admit, I was on cruise control at 65 miles an hour. The limit in the UK is obviously 70 miles an hour. So I thought, right, I'll set it at 65, just a bit faster than the lorries, but slow enough to hopefully be economical in use. Right, bottom line is, I was getting 5 miles per kilowatt, which means, listen to this, you'll love this. Whatever your thoughts on electric cars are, you can't deny this. So, it got me there. It got me all the way, 300 mile on one charge for £4. And then when I was there, like I said, I could charge for free off the solar panels and stuff that were on the roof of the reception building. So I run around about, I don't know, I plugged it in a couple of times while I was down there, just because I could, really, not because I needed it, but I plugged it in, keep it topped up, so that was free. And then the night before I come back, I plugged it in again, charge it up to come home. And then I got home on a charge. So, the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is this: whatever your thoughts of them, and I know I was lucky enough to have free sort of on-site charging, if you like. That was a major bonus, because you know, we do know that charging on the motorway is like fuel on the motorway. It's horrendously expensive. But as I'm saying, I'm just telling my tale. So essentially, I went to Cornwall 300 miles and 300 miles back, and run around 250 mile while I was down there for a full week, going out, well, obviously every day really, sometimes short distances, sometimes a little bit further, you know, doing the sights like you do. So I did 850 mile for £4. £4, 850 miles. Now, like I said, much of that was due to the fact that I had free parking, 3 years, free charging when I was down there. But how fantastic's that? That's brilliant, isn't it? You can't beat that, whatever your thoughts on them are. And I won't go into how brilliant the car is. I'm not here to sell electric cars. I'm not here to sell anything. But I just thought I'd share it because how brilliant that was. So yeah, how good's that? Oh, while I'm at it as well, when we were in Cornwall one night, on the Friday night, we went down to a place called, people in the UK might be aware of it, or even further afield, it's quite famous. There's a theatre called the Minack Theatre. Minack Theatre. And that's at a place very near Land's End, right down the bottom. And it was built by a woman and a family years ago. Sort of out of local stone, and it's a magnificent little place, really. A magnificent little place overlooking. It's a theatre, open air theatre overlooking the sea. And on the Friday night there was a band on down there, and the band is a folk band. Now, and they're called Show of Hands. Show of Hands they're called. So, if you haven't heard of them and you like music, like me, I was a bit of a rocker when I was younger, I liked all me, country rock and all that sort of stuff. I loved it. And I'm a bit older now and I've heard all that, I've moved on a bit from Black Sabbath and Deep Purple. But let me see what you think. Have a look, Google it, put it on your Spotify or your what's that other one called? Apple Music and Deezer, whatever you use. Put Show of Hands, Cousin Jack. Have a listen to that. That's one of the most popular ones, and that's talking about it was actually about the Cornish miners leaving Cornwall to find jobs when the tin mines were shutting, I don't know, 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And the Cornish miners went all over the world trying to find work to sustain themselves and their families. And just have a listen to that anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a listen. If you think it's rubbish, say so. But I think they're brilliant. So we went to see this band, and what a great position, overlooking the sea in Cornwall, listening to Show of Hands, and listening to them singing Cousin Jack. Absolutely fantastic. Now then, on my previous vlog, I was talking about, or one just before I went away, we were talking about, I touched on Triumph, didn't I? Triumph build quality and Royal Enfield. And as I said at the time, I wasn't knocking it, I'm not knocking them at all. It was just airing something that somebody said. And following on from that, there was a comment popped up in my inbox that I think some of you might be interested in. And what this fella did, I can't remember what his name was, but he pointed me to another YouTube vlog, another YouTube video that we can all have a look at. And it was from a fella, or a vlogger, called, in America I think, called Fortnine. F-O-R-T-9, N-I-N-E. And he did a vlog, and what he essentially did was, he was basing this on the build quality of engines, motorcycle manufacturers and their engines. And what he said was, he was contacted by a company who basically, they analysed oil, and he took a little bit of oil at the first service from sort of multiple manufacturers, and they analysed it under a microscope to see which had got the most contaminants in, which had got the most bits of metal in, which was which was really, really bad oil, full of metal. And I think he's basing his assumption that if there's no metal in it, it's a better built engine, built to tighter tolerances and all that sort of stuff. And he took all these engines, in fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'm going to pull over here, because I've got it on my notes in my pocket. I've just got a couple of notes in my pocket, and I can't remember exactly what the video was called. So let me get my gloves off. I'll get my thing out. There you are. Right now, this video, I know it was 4.9, and it was entitled "Which Motorcycle Manufacturer is Best?" Simple as that. Which motorcycle manufacturer is best? 4.9. Have a look at that. You'll find it interesting. You might find it interesting if you're a Royal Enfield owner, or an owner of anything else as well, because it sort of lists them what they think is the best based on that. And let's face it, that's not everything, is it? But it does show something about build quality, how many particulates are in the oil after the running in period. So that's that. Right, okay, so put that back in my pocket, and we're in business. We're off again. Oh, I've had a little bit of an issue with my bike, only a little bit of an issue, and it might be, I might have done this. So I'll just share that with you in a second when I get rolling. We'll get rocking and rolling. Right, off we go. Nothing coming up there, so we're in business. Okay, so couple of weeks ago, you might have noticed that I haven't got my top box on my bike anymore, and the reason for that is a couple of weeks ago it was standing outside the kitchen door, and I opened it and I looked at it and I thought, my top box looks like it's, I don't know, it was only a matter of a degree or two, but you notice, don't you? You notice these things, and it was like down a bit. And I noticed that, you know, on the Royal Enfield, the standard Royal Enfield rack fits on the 4 bolts. So you take the handle, you know, on the back seat where you've got them 4 Loctite bolts that hold the grab rail on. Well, that's where the rack fits in. You take the grab rail off and you stick your rack on them bolts there, them 4 bolts. So it's just really on the seat and on the seat frame. Well, what I noticed was one of mine had broke off, but one of my bolts had sheared off. Don't know how that happened. So it was held on by 3 bolts, and 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and 1 was sheared. So I thought, oh, that's not very sparkling, is it? So I took it off. I just took it off completely. And then I thought, right, what to do now? Because I'm not really that desperate for it just at the moment, but what am I going to do? I don't know if anybody else has had that, and it could be self-inflicted. I wonder whether maybe what I've done is I've took the grab rail off, put the top box rack on, and overcooked it. Because it's, you know, I definitely didn't use my torque wrench. Perhaps I should have done. But, you know, them things with Loctite on, they're so tight, aren't they? It's hard to judge. Anyway, I did it up. It was okay at first. It didn't snap at that point. But at some point, it's sheared off. So I thought, oh, what now? I mean, I don't need it at the moment, but ultimately, you know, I might need. So I thought, right, well, before I go buying a new rack, a new seat frame, because I'll try and get that bolt out. I'll try and get the bolt out. So you can get these, you know, bolt removal kits, can't you? I've never used one before. Yeah, here we go, Mr. DIY over here. So I thought, well, it's worth a go. And I googled him a bit, and on Screwfix in the UK, they do a bolt removal kit, and it's just like a screw thing. You drill a hole in the middle of the bolts, screw it in, sort of backwards, and once it's got enough traction, it should unscrew the bolt. Yeah, should unscrew the bolt. Having said that, I read some reviews about this particular kit, and some of them were sparkling, so, you know, it was about 50-50. Half of them will say waste of money, don't bother. Absolute, they made of cheese, don't bother about them. And others will say, no, fantastic, did my job a treat for very little money. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? I couldn't get it out in situ as it was. I couldn't get it out how it was. So I thought, right, so I got a kit from Screwfix. Now it's literally about £3.50 or £4. So you're not expecting a lot, are you? Well, so I got it in the garage. I drilled my hole. It should be dead centre, shouldn't it? It was nearly dead centre. Okay, it wasn't quite centre, but no, it was near enough. It was near enough. I was quite happy. So I drilled my hole, and my bolt removal thing went in, and it started to get purchased. It started to grab it. I thought, Bill, we're in business. And I kept tightening. Bear in mind, them bolts got blasted Loctite on, haven't they? Red Loctite. Anyway, it went in, it was getting tight, it was getting really tight. It was getting hard to move, and I thought, surely it's going to start twisting it out now. And then, ping! Well, guess what's in my seat frame now? Not only a bolt, but a bolt removing thing as well. That's bossed off now. So I give up. So that's that. So I've been on eBay, about £100 for a new seat frame. I've toyed with sending it to, see if there's a local engineer or someone that can get it out properly. I'm sure they probably can, but it might cost more money than just buying it. One thing's about the Enfields, isn't it, is the parts are quite cheap. So, I mean, it's cheap. I know it's not cheap, but it's probably my own fault. I'm not really blaming them, unless you know different. Maybe one of yours is broke, or maybe it's just a one-off. But I tried to get it out, and I failed to get it out, and I've probably made things a bit worse now. So there you go. That's my bit of news on my bike. Bike news. Thank you to all the people who have commented, liked, subscribed my little humble efforts here. It is much appreciated, and I'm hoping my microphone's a bit better now. I'm hoping I'm getting to the bottom of that. So hopefully when I get home and edit this a little bit, you should hear me okay. What was I going to say? Oh, the photograph thing. Yeah, I was asking about the photograph thing. Wondering, thank you so much for your photographs. If you've got any, couple of things on that. First of all, feel free, send them to shottostravels@gmail.com, and I will pop them on. But there's a slight caveat coming here now, because I've got quite a few. And you'll have to be patient with me, because I know somebody doesn't, people don't want to switch on to wall-to-wall photographs, and I have got them. They aren't going anywhere, and I'm doing them in the order that I receive them, and I'm going to put some on the back of this one here, the back of this vlog. So yeah, thank you for them. Send them. And just forgive me if you send me a few. I mean, I love to see them; they're brilliant. But if you send me a few, I have had one or two people, you know who you are, that have bombarded me a little bit. Now I don't mind a couple of photographs, but when I'm getting like 25 photographs of somebody in one hit, I can't put them on because it's not fair to all the other people that are waiting. So what I'll do, if I get a few, is I'll pick the best one. Here I am again. I think I'm a judge, don't I? I should be on the X Factor. I'll pick one or two out and I'll pop them on. But I can't really put them all on all the time. You'll understand that, of course you will. We're all grown-ups, aren't we? That's brilliant. Right, so that's photographs. So send them me by all means. I love to see them, as do all the people. Oh, and on that, I was asking the question, what shall I do with them? How am I gonna deal with these photos? That's partly why I was asking, really, to have a bit of input. And I've had some input, so thank you for that. And the general consensus, not everybody. So if you disagree, then I'm sorry about that. But the general consensus is just carry on as we are. So what I'll do is I'll do my little vlogs like this, like I'm doing today. Have a little chat, have a little ride around, a little tickle round, oh sheep. and I'll put them on at the end, right at the end. Now, sometimes I might give a description, and sometimes I might just put them on with a few words on. But however I do it, they'll be on at the end of the vlog, the last knockings of the vlog, so that at that point, if you want to see them, you can stay and watch, by all means, of course you can. Or you can choose to switch off and do something more exciting. So that's up to you. So that's the plan moving forward. Send me photos by all means, love them. And I know, and the general consensus is, yeah, lots of people like to see them, but not millions of them, all the time, because people don't, you don't switch on just to see people's photographs. You can see them in a car park, can't you? You see bikes anywhere. But yeah, so that's that. So end of this vlog, I'll put some on. I mean, in fact, I've got a few notes in my pocket, so I'll talk as we're riding round. This is Dovedale. This is I think it's called Island. Nice little place, Island is. In fact, what I'll do, which way shall we go? No, let's go this way. Let's go up here. I think this is a National Trust property up. Oh yeah, Island Country Park. Let's have a tickle up here, have a look to show it you. Oh, it's National Trust. It's okay, I'm a National Trust member. So, I don't know if it'll get 500 of us in, mind you, if that's how many have seen this, but we'll have a look. There you go. Oh, one of the fellas who sent me a few pictures, I think he's on this one, I've got him in my pocket on my notes. He's in America, and just something that he said to me was, because I mentioned to him, I said, them trees look nice, don't they, that red tree? I don't know what that is. Somebody tell me what that red tree is. Whoa, that's beautiful. It's in better now, the trees are all getting green, eh? We're coming into a bit of colour now, aren't we? Yeah, brilliant. So, anyway, this fella, Kevin, I think his name was Kevin, I might be wrong. He said, I said, well, I've been in America a couple of times, I've been on the East Coast and I've been on the West Coast on a fly drive, loved it. And he said, I've been to the UK a couple of times. He says, I've been to the UK, he says, I've been to London twice. And I thought, and I bet you think the same, if you're in the UK and you understand, and I said to him, well, possibly the best thing you can do the next time you come is get out of London. You know what I mean? I think most of us agree with that. I mean, London's got its place. I'm not knocking London, all them people who live there, but there's more to the UK than London, isn't there? I mean, the tourists flock down there. And I'm not saying it's horrible, because the centre's fine, isn't it, the touristy bits, but some of the outskirts of the centre, well, I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm not such a big fan of London generally. It's just big city, isn't it? It's any big city in the world. But I was encouraging him to get out of London and go to Scotland or go to Cornwall or the Lake District, or I think he responded and he said, well, next time I come, I'd like to do the NC 500, which is brilliant up there. Oh yeah, West Coast of Scotland, can't beat it. Or I think he said the Cotswolds. That's it. Get out to London. So anybody coming here, thinking of coming here, see that little church there? Well, I was going to say you don't get that in London. No, you get St Paul's Cathedral, don't you? So, but you know what I mean. There's more to the UK than London, believe me. Us as live here, well, I don't know about you, but I used to go when I was a lorry driver. That was enough for me. I don't want to go back. I've no desire to go back again. I've been down there enough, and anyway, that's my thoughts. There's more to the UK than London. Okie dokie. So, pictures. I'm going to put some pictures on now, so like I was saying earlier, if now's the time you want to switch off, that's fine. But I'll put my pictures on. I've had a load, so I'll get through a few on this one. And we'll rattle through these and we'll see how we go on. I don't know where this goes. I haven't got a clue. Let's go this way. Oh, wait, I know where I am now, yeah. Right, first one, Morgan. Morgan's in Spain. He sent me a couple of pictures of his Red and Chrome Classic. He lives in northwest Spain, near the French border, I think, up there somewhere. And he tells me he's been out and about on his bike down by the coast, and he has to go over a bit of a mountain. He says it's only a bit of a mountain, this says, but he was getting up this mountain. He's only just had this bike. I don't know if it's fully run in, and he was getting up this hill pretty steady, as we do, especially when we're running in. And he said he was being followed by a German camper van, and you can see the camper van in the picture. And once he got to the top of the hill, he pulled over, and he had to apologise to him for holding him up. So that was Morgan. And then, and my next one's Kevin. Now, Kevin was this lad I was telling you about in America. Missouri in America, the Ozarks, in the television program, the Ozarks. And anyway, he's got a selection of bikes. He's got an Himalayan here. I think he's got a Suzuki Bergman, and that looks to me, he didn't tell me, like an old, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, Kevin, you know that, but that's an older type on the 250, I think, scooter. You know, that's a little bit of a strange looking one from back in the day, eh? So that's that. And Kevin was the lad who said he visited London, and I was saying to him, "Nah, get out to London, go somewhere else, go." So that was that fella. So that's Kevin. Okay, now Wally. Wally's a supporter of my little humble FSC, and he's in Ohio, and he sent me a picture of his bike. What he did, apparently he must be a stonemason. I think he watches this for see these stone walls in Derbyshire. And Wally must be a talented fella, because he was asked by the American Legion, which I imagine is like the British Legion, to rebuild a monument to the American-Spanish War, which obviously I know nothing about that. I don't know the first thing. I don't know our history, so I don't know American history. But this monument had to be taken down because of some crane or something coming in, and it had to be recited. And Wally was the man who was commissioned to. What about that then? There's a job here for you, mate. Ricky, what's happened here? I don't know. What are you doing next week? Hey, job for you here. I'll keep you busy for an hour or two, won't it? Anyway, hey, what about that, eh? Butterfly brain, you know what I'm like. So, he rebuilt this monument in Ohio and sent me some pictures. Now, the next picture I've got is he's on a bit more familiar ground, Ray is. He's in anybody fancy little bear lambs, look? Oh, lovely. Oh, I've just stalled. He's talking his shoulder, an Enfield Classic 350. Oh no. Oh, he's coming down. So, Ray. Now, familiar territory this is, Ray. Ardnott Pass in Cumbria. I've been up there, and he's took a picture of his Classic 350 at the top of the Ardnott Pass. For those who don't know, that's a very scenic area in the Lake District. High up road, that is. Very twisty to get up to, very steep. Famous, really. Famous in Cumbria. And he sent me a picture of it with his Classic. Last time I went up there, I was on a Goldwing 2 up. So you can imagine. So, I don't know what you thought of it, Ray. If you thought that was a struggle on that, I tell you what, have a Goldwing. Especially with my missus on the back wobbling about. Oh, I shouldn't say that, should I? She might see it, but it's true. But you know what I mean, it's a bit of a handful going up there with that. But he did it alright, fantastic, yeah. So that's that. Thank you for sending them, fellas. Them are brilliant, nice to see. Oh, look at all these little sheeps. Look at these little sheeps on the road. Oh, bless. That'd been in Wales, isn't it? He's asleep, he is. He hadn't even seen me coming. That's how quiet I am. If I'd got that decap pipe on his nose here, he's thinking, what? He's thinking, Jesus, what's that? So, yeah, I tell you what, if I'd got that decap pipe on and that silencer, they'd heard me from the other side of the hillside. Do you know, I'm pleased that's gone. I'm happy with it, performance-wise. I touched on it in a previous one, didn't I? But I'm quite happy with this. I don't want to make a lot of it. If I want a lot of performance, I'll go buy a bigger bike. You know, that's. I think that's my take on it. I wouldn't have embarked on this decat silencer malarkey had it not been for my mate saying, "Oh, I'll give you exhaust," and I fell for it, didn't I? Like a plonky. Oh, yeah, something for free, I'll have it. I didn't need it. I didn't want it. And that's the conclusion that I've come to now, so I'm pretty much back to stock. I'm going to leave my DNA filter on, simply because I've bought it now. I'd be daft not to, so I'll leave that on. But in every other respect, this bike's stock, and for me, it's fine. You don't need any more than this. But hey, especially up these sort of roads, do you? Okay, John sent me a picture of his red classic. His classic 350, one of them common red ones. I don't know what's up with these people, I don't. Why they haven't gone for the brown one. Perhaps they couldn't get brown, I've said this before. Because, you know, them red ones, they seem to just keep knocking them out, don't they, eh? But, anyway, he's got that. Nice bike, thanks for sending it. And, oh dear. Now, who was the fella? Do you know what? I'm going to stop and have a quick look at my note. Because I remember the bikes. This lad, hey, well, there's a castle in front of me. Hey, bit of a redundant, you don't need to go London. Anyway, I've got my notes here, can you see him? But I forgot. Andy, GT750. Do you remember them water bottles? He's also got a classic 350. He's got a Kawasaki 400 thing, yeah, and he's got a GT380, one of my favourites, a GT380. Wow, how fantastic's that? Love them. Fond memories of GT380. Now, can I ride with my notes here? I don't know. So, what's the next one? John. He's got a classic 350 and he's on Saddleworth Moor, I think. I've written here Mars bar because it's in that halcyon black. It looks like a Mars bar wrapper, doesn't it? So thanks for sending that, John. And Brendan, I'm going to ride with my notes there if I can. Now Brendan's in Northern Ireland. I'll tell you what. He sent me some lovely pictures of his bikes in Northern Ireland, strategically positioned, and I think it's been through the software, this has, but nonetheless, there's nothing wrong with that. I do that as well. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you got a nice photograph, why wouldn't you enhance it? Why wouldn't you do it? But, you made a great job of that, mate. Absolutely stunning. Royal Enfield won't use them as publicity shots. They should use them as publicity shots. They're fantastic. And he's in Northern Ireland. Right, I'll just go steady through here. Yeah, where else can you ride through the middle of a farmyard? Eh? The main road. The road goes through holiday cottages. Oh dear. I don't know about coming down, all this book on the road. Right, there you are. So we're through that farmyard now, and we're going up and out the other side. No, I can't even have a sneak peek in my notes because it's my throttle hand, isn't it? Let me stop. Let me have a look. Hang on a minute. Don't put your foot in that ditch, Keith. You'll topple over, then you'll look a plonker. Brendan, his name was. I'm sorry, Brendan. I'm sorry, mate. Brendan, classic 350. He's got his signals in Northern Ireland. They're fantastic. And Nikki in Cyprus, Larnaca in Cyprus. I've been there on holiday. She sent me a picture of her sitting on a trike. Massive, great big thing that is. Now, I don't know anything about trikes. I don't know the first thing about trikes, but I do know that I bumped into a couple not long ago in Scotland, funnily enough, and they were on trikes, and they'd got, now correct me if I'm wrong, Nicky, you'll be the trike expert, they'd got is it Boom? is it a boomed or the other one I think was something like Riwako or something. Now they're proper makes of trikes, aren't they? Now obviously you can get Harleys and gold rings, I've seen triked and all sorts over the years, but yeah. Now that looked to me, your trike, Nicky, looked like one of them that I saw in Scotland. Correct me if I'm wrong, you probably made it yourself, I've no idea. But brilliant, nice to see that is. And don't forget what I told you. Have a look on YouTube or Deezer or Spotify or Apple Music or something. Have a look at Show of Hands, Cousin Jack as a starting point. Don't dismiss it because it's all folk music, you know. He'll have us dancing around a maypole next. No, I won't. Although that'd be funny. I might actually. Yeah, that'll be alright. Naked. No, don't say that. You can't do that. No. It's 2024. You can't say anything nowadays, can you? Oh, it's me. What's going wrong with the world when you can't take mick out of one another? Anyway, right. So we can get on with it. And what I'll do, I'll tell you what, I'll wrap this up now, but I'm going to continue to play some photos. So don't switch off if you send me some photos, because you might miss your photo. I'll put some on with some captions, and I'll see if I can do a bit of a catch up on this one. Right, so what I'll do is I'll wish you all well. I hope you're getting out on your bikes, now it's summertime. And watch out for the potholes and the lunatic driver. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all that good stuff, that helps me out. And the next one I'm going to, hopefully, I'll ring him tomorrow, I'm going to have a ride on that Super Meteor and let's see what we think of that. So I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be a Super Meteor ride out. And let's have a go with one of them. So take care of yourselves, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Right, I'm going to play a few photos now. Bye!